Hi. So this exercise is bubble sort refactor. We'll be doing test-driven development in Node, and we'll be doing some refactoring with extract method, and we'll also get an opportunity to look at doing some destructuring opportunity to see how that can get used to produce some nice looking code. So let's get started. Okay, let's get set up. I'm going to share this setup between all of my exercises to make it a little bit easier. So let's get going. So I'm going to create a directory to work in, app. And you see our Explorer here is keeping up with us. This is VS Code. I'm going to go into that directory, and I'm going to use Node. So I'm going to create my package.json file. There it is. It's a simple template. And let's start installing the tools I'm going to use. And they're going to be dev tools. So first of all, for testing, Mocha and Chai for expectations. And then ESLint and ESLint plugin Mocha, because I'm using Mocha. Alright, and then one final thing while I'm at it, I might as well install NYC for code coverage while I'm here. It's a successor to Istanbul. Okay, good, so that's the three of those. You can see our package.json file. It's got our dependencies. It doesn't do anything with our test command yet, so I need to fix that. But first of all, let's copy in this ESLint RC YAML file that I've got, and you can see here there's a ton of rules. I love having loads of rules to guide me, in errors and warnings. So it's very, very handy. I love that. All right, that's the ESLint YAML file, and here's our scripts where we want to actually put in running tests. So let's put in the actual command we're going to use, which is going to be Mocha. We'll just use the top level, anything that's called star.test.js. Okay, so we should actually be pretty close to be able to run tests. Let's try to do it with npm test. And no files found, but no actual error. So let's go ahead. We'll use index because that's what the auto generation of the package.json used. And we'll put in our index.test.js, which is actually the file it'll recognize. Alright, so it's green. No test, but the framework's there. Alright, so let's put in the other pieces now. Let's put in the linting, which is going to be our pre-test, so it's going to run before the tests can even run, and that's going to be ESLint everything. And while we're here, let's put in our code coverage, and that's going to be the NYC npm run test. So that's close to all of the pieces we need. We can run our tests again to make sure that they work, and we can run code coverage to make sure that that works. And you can see that we didn't have any files again, but this is the expected output that we've got. So we've got our linting, our testing, our code coverage, our basic files set up here, NYC output for code coverage output. So we're pretty much ready to go. So now we can go ahead and create the actual app. In this exercise, we're going to do some refactoring. We're going to take some existing code, a nice simple bubble sort, and we can see we can make a couple of improvements to it. So here's our existing code, and you can see it's a classic outer loop, inner loop, everything named nicely. One's bigger than the other, then use this temp variable and swap them. And down here you see we have a bunch of tests for various different scenarios and cases, and it seems to be pretty comprehensive. And down here you can see all of them, all 7 of them are passing. Prove that again. Yep, everything's passing, and our linting is good. So all in all, this is pretty good, but let's see if we can make a couple of improvements. Biggest thing really is just we've got so many references here, it can get really confusing. We've got outer in all these different places, and inner in all these different places, and I think you'd agree that it wouldn't be that hard to get one of these wrong and not really be able to spot it. So let's prove that. For instance, if I made this outer and come down here, save that, it fails, of course. And like, what was the problem? It's hard to see if I'm not on it anymore exactly what it was. So I'll change it back. Oops, yeah, change it back, and then save that. And it's passing again. So what can we do to clean this up a little bit? It's not that much code, but like I said, there's probably something we can do to clean it up. And I'm actually going to use a VS Code feature here. These 3 lines, I think we could do extract methods. So let's go down to Refactor. It's actually the first time, a couple of times I've used this, and so we do that, and we give it a name, and we're going to call this, see, we delete this, and we call it, let's just call it swap, make it simple, boom. So we've got it there, and if we scroll down, that's what it's put in for us, which is pretty nice. Alright, so let's see if that works. It does, great. Alright, so what else could we do? Now we've isolated this piece of code here. We could probably refactor this too. And there's a nice, this is where we get to use destructuring. There's a nice way that you can do a swap here. If you've got a couple of variables that you want to swap with each other. So you basically, you put a little array here and you say contents, A comma B, so contents of inner, and then contents of outer. And then you say that is equal to, and then you just do them the other way. You say contents of outer, comma, contents of inner. You just swap them like that. And so I think it's a little hard to see. The parens is the square brackets. It's the only hard part here. We put a couple of spaces. I'll put a couple of spaces around each one. Make that a little bit easier to see now. See, that's the second lot there. Space. Okay. So I think that's good. Just check that one more time there. Yeah. And then that's around it. Oh, we gotta get rid of the gotta get rid of these 3 lines. Let's do that. Okay. Alright, so that should work. If I run the command. Alright, contents is not defined. Okay, I kind of messed this up a bit. I got a mixture of contents and this.contents here, so they should be this. Although, if I'm going to have that 4 times, I think I'll help myself out a little bit here, because this line length will be getting really long. So let's put contents equals this.contents, and then we can actually just get rid of these 2. This is that one, and this one. Okay. That's grey because it should be contents. There they go. It'll light up. Okay, good. Alright, let's try that out. Everything's passing. Nice. So I think the code's looking pretty good. We've got our less references here, and even the code that we have is just a lot smaller without these 3 lines. So it's very simple to see what's going on here. And we've got a whole bunch of tests. Just get rid of this. We can see how many tests we've got, which is pretty comprehensive. So I think we're done refactoring. Alright, thank you.